Those are wonderful recognitions. That brings us to item number 8, which is the approval of our agenda for tonight's meeting. Ms. Baumgartner.
I move that we approve the agenda.
We have a second. Ms. Hutchison seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that passes unanimously. Brings us to item number 9, which is the approval of the minutes of the April 24th, 2017 board meeting. Do I have a motion? Mr. Haltermonger.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of the April 24th, 2017 board meeting.
I have a second. Ms. Hammond seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. All those abstaining, Ms. Hutchison was not with us, so that passes 6 to 1 abstention. And that brings us to our next item, which is item number 10, which is a welcome and brief overview of Chapin Middle School by Anna Miller, the principal here. So, Ms. Miller, we're so glad to be here with you tonight.
Well, thank you so much. Welcome, and we are so glad to have you here at Chapin Middle School, where all of our students, as Clay said, are safe, happy, and learning. As principal, I'm certainly proud to be able to share our beautiful facility and a little bit about our wonderful school with you tonight. And thank you so much for the construction that will begin next month on our third wing right out this hallway here. I would also like to introduce to you the other members of my administrative team, Mr. Ron McGinty, Assistant Principal of Instruction, and Mr. Dale Whitson, an Assistant Principal here. And I would be remiss if I did not give a huge shout out to my secretary who really keeps this school running very smoothly, Karen Crumry. So thank you to all of you. As you're probably aware, this year, Chapin Middle School was ranked as the #1 best public middle school in the state of South Carolina by niche.com. And we received the honor of the initial designation as being a school to watch. Although there are more than 400 schools to watch across the nation, there are less than 20 middle schools in South Carolina designated as a school to watch. This designation is based on 4 criteria: academic excellence, developmental responsiveness, social equity, and organizational structures. We are excited to hold our first Schools to Watch celebration here at Chapin Middle School on Friday, May 19th. While these rankings and awards are great honors, they speak more of structures, rankings, and achievements than they do about the people who earned them. At CMS, our motto is that we are respectful, responsible, and remarkable. I want to tell you about a couple of remarkable people and things that have happened here at Chapin Middle School just in the last month. I was excited when Wesley Bryan, a Dutch Fork High School graduate and former student of mine, won the Heritage. But I was even more excited when I received an email from a District 5 employee who attended the golf tournament and met one of our CMS students. Betsy Crawford, whose daughter Libby I also taught, sent me an email telling me how blown away she was by the kindness and extremely generous and thoughtful gesture of one of our 7th grade students. She went on to tell me how she and Libby, along with many other fans and young people, had stood at one of the final crossings from one hole to another, waiting for a chance to perhaps meet or speak to the golfers up close. She recounted how she struck up a conversation with a couple of young students beside her and how one young man in particular had inquired about her favorite golfer. She replied, Matt Kuchar. Shortly thereafter, Matt Kuchar walked through the crossing, paused to ask them some golf trivia, signed the glove he was wearing that day, and gave it to the young man that Ms. Crawford had been talking to. They said their pleasantries and parted ways. Moments later, she heard the young man say, excuse me, ma'am, would you like the glove? She couldn't believe it and said that he should keep the glove, that it was a gift to him. But the young man refused and said, but you just said he's your favorite golfer. I want you to have it. This young man is a 7th grader here at Chapin Middle School, St. Hadwin. Another email touched my heart when an attorney from Charleston wrote to me to describe his encounter with one of our 8th grade students in the market on our recent 8th grade field trip to Charleston. He talked about how he and his wife rarely allow their children to miss school unless they are sick, But on this very special day, they had signed their kindergarten-age triplets out early to head down to the market. While they were in line at the ice cream store, a young man from Chapin Middle School presented the family with a skip-to-the-line free pass. He said they were thankful and moved to the front of the line, ordered their ice cream, and enjoyed a lovely day in downtown Charleston. He said he thought it was a nice gesture and didn't think much about it again until they were putting their triplets to bed that night, and during their nightly prayers, one of his children said, "And God, thank you for the nice big boy in the ice cream shop today." He realized then what an impact this kind, small gesture had made on his child. He talked about how this student could have given the pass to a buddy or simply thrown it away and not bothered with giving it to anyone. But instead, he selected a family with small children and was a great example for them about spreading kindness in a world that is often filled with negativity. This young man, Hayden Clark, asked for nothing in return, didn't know the family at all, and would have been untraceable had he not been wearing a Chapin Athletics t-shirt and been a member of our group. We had a great send-off for our Special Olympics students last week. All students were in the hallways, music was playing, flags were waving, and confetti was falling as our students cheered on our athletes. It was a wonderful feeling, and there were many tears of joy. But what filled my heart to overflowing was that when our athletes returned, unprompted by any adults, our students saw them through our nice windows and spilled into the hallways to cheer them on as they returned. We are proud of all of our accomplishments, academics, athletics, and the arts. But most of all, we are proud of our amazing faculty, students, parents, and community that make it count every day and make CMS one happy school. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. That brings us to item number 11, which is our superintendent's report. Dr. Hefner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.